In this video, we will talk about Functools Singledispatch, which allows you to assign different behaviors to the same function depends on the data types of the first argument of that function. To see what this is useful, let's start with an example. Here we have the code to create the data. This function tests data as its first argument. This data can be of type dit, list, or something else. In this code, if the data is of type dit, we're gonna call the function createData from dit. And if it is of type list, then we will call the function createData from list. And this is how the two functions look like. Now let's see if this function works as we expected by running it on an example data, which is a dictionary. When we run this function, we can see that the data is created from a data of type dit, and this is its output, which means this is the function that was called. Now, if we run createData with a list instead, we will also have a data frame that is created from a list. So this function works as expected. However, it can get very complicated if there are more data types needed to be considered in the function. Is there a way that you can handle different data types without using an if-else statement? That is when Functools Singledispatch comes in handy. Singledispatch will choose the right function based on the type of the current function's first argument. Let's see how we can simplify the previous code using Singledispatch. First, start with importing Singledispatch from Functools. Next, we will add the Singledispatch decorator to the function createData. Next, we will register createData from dit and createData from list to the function createData with the decorator createData.register. Now that we have registered these two functions, we will not need the if-else statements anymore. I keep this line of code here because if there is no registered implementation for a specific type of data, this code will run. We can see that with Singledispatch, our code looks much cleaner than before. Now, let's test this out and see if it works as we expected. When we run the function createData with a dictionary, the function createData from dit is called. And when we call the function with the first argument as a list, the function createData from list is called. Now, if we try to call the function with the data type that has not been implemented, we will get the not implemented error. Another cool thing about Singledispatch is that it allows you to create a function that can handle multiple types. For example, the function createData from list should be able to handle both a list and a tuple. So I can use two register decorators to handle data of type list or data of type tuple. Note that previously I used type hint to tell Singledispatch which function to use. You can also add the data type as the first argument of the decorator createData.register. By using this method, I am able to associate multiple data types with one function. Now let's test this out and see if it works as expected. Awesome! It works. That's it about Singledispatch. Thank you for listening.